Welcome to EDU World Space.
All right, chapter 4, number 28. We're dealing with two blocks, A stacked on B. We're pulling on block B with a force of F, and for part A, we're doing free body diagrams for both blocks for a table without friction. So no friction between B and the table. There's got to be friction between A and the table. Otherwise, A wouldn't stick to B if you pulled B to the right. So doing a free body diagram here for block A, the top block, let's take care of the obvious. We've got gravity. Let's call that the weight of A going down, and we've got block B pushing up on block A. I consider this a contact force between B and A. It's B pushing up on A. And there's a third law pair here. A is going to push down on B with an equal and opposite force. And then finally, if this system accelerates to the right, that means that both A and B are accelerating to the right. What's accelerating A to the right? There's got to be friction here between A and B. Which direction does it have to act on A so A accelerates to the right? It's got to be acting to the right. A sticks to B, so I'm going to call this static friction. That's what the little S is. Now doing a free body diagram for block B and taking care of the easy stuff. We have the weight of B going down, and we have our contact force. B pushes up on A, so A pushes down with an equal and opposite force on B. That's our first third law pair. Let's take care of the next one. Static friction acting to the right on A. That's a contact force between A and B. It's a third law pair. So that same force of static friction is acting to the left on block B. Okay, taking care of some other ones here. We've got the force from the table, normal force pushing up on block B. And then we have this pull force, F, going to the right. Why does block B accelerate to the right? F needs to be bigger than static friction. Why does block A accelerate to the right? Because it only has one horizontal force going to the right, static friction. So what are our third law pairs? Again, we've got these two, static friction, and we've got these two, the contact force acting between the two blocks. So you make sure those are always equal and opposite. So now in part B, we have a table where there is friction between B and the table, and the problem says that we pull with the same amount of force, F, as the friction force between B and the table. If we're pulling horizontally with the same force F as the table pulls back with, we're not going to get any acceleration on block B. And that means we're not going to get any acceleration on block A. Two possibilities here. Either the system remains at rest, or the system is moving at a constant velocity. Either way, the acceleration is zero, and the net force on A is zero, the net force on B is zero. So if the net force on A is zero, that free body diagram becomes pretty straightforward. We still have the weight of A, and we've got that contact force between the two blocks. A is not accelerating horizontally. There's no force acting on it horizontally. So on block B then, we've got the weight of B, pretty much bigger than A, so let's draw it bigger than A. And we've got that contact force. A pushes down on B. There's our third law pair. We're pulling with force F this way, but there's friction between the table and the block, and we're pulling with an equal amount. And there's a normal force acting on block B from the table. And that's the situation. We got no net force acting on B because it's not accelerating. We got no net force acting on A because it's not accelerating. So if we don't need to accelerate A, then that force of friction between the two blocks is zero. So we don't have that Newton's third law pair. This static friction is between the table and the block, not between the two blocks. So what's our third law pair here? Just those contact forces, and that's it.